Let's go to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Kyle in Green Bay. Kyle, good to have you on. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Drew, oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
No. You don't like that call. I don't like that call.
My man, you sounded great. Hey, I'm not going to be inhumane or cruel about this, but I just put you out of your misery. That could have only gotten worse from there. I don't know that I've ever had somebody have that much trouble addressing me by my first name. That was not a host-driven show. I'm not somebody that relies on telephone calls. I can do a show without ever taking a phone call for the rest of my life. I've proven this. I've gone entire programs without phone calls. I've gone entire days and weeks without telephone calls. I'm not doing it to flex. I'm not doing it to show off. I just do it because my thing is preparation. Be prepared to do the show. Do not turn your fate over to somebody else. Don't be lazy. Don't let the callers carry the day. So at the same time, as I say that, I want you to be involved. I want phone calls. I want good phone calls. I think it'll make for a better call. I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm not trying to intimidate you. I know that's not going to help. I mean, my man, I haven't heard anybody yip up that badly to start a program. I don't think ever. Jim is not a hard word. That's not a hard way to start. How you doing, Kyle? Great, Jim, Rome, Van Smack, Pimp the Box, Jerk, whatever. Just get it out cleanly. That is incredible that just happened. Kyle, good to have you on. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Drew, oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
I'm nervous. I love that. Oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going? My man, it's going pretty well for me, Kyle. Not so good for you. I'm sorry, bro. I should cut you some slack. I just can't. All right, thankfully, good news. Actually, I can cut you some slack, Kyle. The good news is I have an interview next. So maybe the clones will forget that just happened and leave you alone, and I can buy you some time. Because when Tom Crean joins me next, that gets me to the top of the hour, and maybe that never happened, Kyle. Maybe they'll let you down. I doubt it. You want to talk weird? Weird? Weird is somebody calling from Green Bay and trying to address me as Jim. Kyle, good to have you on. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. Drew, oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
Oh, man, like the oxygen mask is coming out of his ceiling. Hey, Kyle, be sure to put that thing on your face before you put it on your kids. It's like hyperventilating. Oh, I'm great, George. Oh, I'm nervous. No, bro, you're great. This guy writes, hey, Jim, the best part of that call was that awkward moment before you ran him where you just heard him trying to catch his breath. Jack and La Habra, but working in Yorba Linda. What, you mean this awkward moment?
Hey, I'm great. Drew, oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
Gabe in the 604 tweets. Can you get at Alvin DeLauro to slow down Kyle's call so we can actually hear what names he fired out? It's entirely up to Alvin. Alvin, is that something you can do? Kyle, good to have you on. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Drew. Oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
No. You don't like that.
Okay, what I think, when he slowed that down into half speed or 1/3 speed, I think what I was able to make out was Drew, John, Lynn, Jerkman, Gillett, and a few more things. I think that was Drew and John. I think Lynn, Gillett. Yeah, that's it. Drew, John, Lynn, Gillett. But I thought I heard a Jumpman in there. Or Jordan. Anyway, we go to hour number 2. Gillett Rome with you. Drew Rome. Drew, John, Lynn, Gillett, Van Smack with you. Hey, Kyle, it happens. Actually, it never happens, Kyle. And Green Bay saying, hey, Rome, don't hold that against us. It's only one guy. Or do you only care about Kyle in Green Bay? Hey, Rome, we don't really give a damn about anything here, much less the Rams, but we do care about Kyle. All right, Kyle in Green Bay, that's something else that happened in hour number one. You've heard people call the show before, and you've heard them yip out, meltdown, implode, and essentially just impale themselves on the jungle wall. It happens. It's nerve-wracking. I've said this a million times. If you're on hold, you probably never know when I'm going to go to a phone call. You have to be ready because inevitably when you hear that little which means you're on the air, I know it can be nerve-wracking. Be prepared. Be ready when it happens. So we had a bad situation last hour where Kyle was not ready. Gabe in the 604 tweeted, can you get Alvin DeLauro to slow down Kyle's call so we can actually hear what names he fired out? Before I do that, Alvin, if you could, just one more time, play it in real speed, real time. Kyle, good to have you on. How are you?
Hey, I'm great, Drew. Man, Jill, oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
It's going to be a long time before that's not funny. That's still funny, and it's going to be a long time before that's not funny. So Gabe already went next level with it. Gabe said, slow it down. I want to try and actually make out what names he fired out incorrectly. So I can do that as well.
Hey, I'm great, Drew. Man, Jill, oh, man, I'm nervous. How's it going?
What do you mean you're nervous? So now all of you have moved on and tried to guess what he said. Art Janel tweets, I heard a Jeff in there too. Stucknut. Stucknut's almost never wrong about anything. Stucknut tweets, Drew, John, Drunkman, Gillett. All right, since Stucknut's almost never wrong about anything, Alvin, let's hear it one more time. Slow it down and see if, in fact, it's Drew, John, Drunkman, and Gillett.
Drew, man, Gillett, oh, man.
I think Drew, John, Drunkman, Gillett. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Drew.
Jeremy and Scotty tweets, he pretty clearly calls you Drew the Jumpman Skillet. You mean like, hey, Kyle, what's going on? Nothing, Drew the Jumpman Skillet. What's going on with you? Hey, Romy, major kudos to Alvy for slowing down that call from Kyle in Green Bay. The remix of LT nearly had me blasting coffee out of my face. Thanks for repping Wisco and continuing to make us sound as brilliant as our Making a Murderer friends. CD from Wisco. I'm getting almost as many emails and tweets from Wisconsin as I am the rest of the country saying it's not us, Rome. Way to go, Kyle. Way to represent. Rome, I'm driving around with my daughter in the car, and I had to pull over so I could laugh uncontrollably at that last segment. Keep up the good work, Jim John Benson. More nervous callers forgetting who they called. Signed, Tony in Sioux Falls. Clones, the thing is, a lot of times you make me laugh at things like this, but this should not be bigger than any sports take that I have. This should not be bigger than the show. This should not transcend everything that I had planned to talk about today. What I'm saying is, why do you like that more than anything I could say or do or anybody I could interview? Because I know you do. I know you do. I'm trying to move on, but kind of hard to do so when I'm getting other calls now from Green Bay. Let's find out. Carson in Green Bay. Hey, if you're on hold, very quickly, my name is Jim. Jim Rome. When I come to you, I'm probably going to mention you by name and say what city you're calling from and ask you how you are. A typical response would be fine, Rome, fine, Jim, fine, pimp in the box, fine, bro, fine, broham, all good, chief. If you panic and you forget my name, just blast something like that out. Chief, home slice, brother, broham, dude. Just not all at once, not 5 in a row. Let's give it a shot. Back to Green Bay. Carson. Carson, what's up? How are you?
Jamie, how's it going?
Good.
This goes out to Kyle. I think the Mud Dogs need a new water boy. I hope that he brings his wooden spoon.
Thanks, Carson. All right, so that's somebody in Green Bay who's not amused. The problem with that, Kyle, is you think that you made yourself look bad and maybe your family, but the entire region is taking it now because of that. All of Green Bay is getting heat. All of Wisconsin is getting heat because of one bad call. It's not fair, but it's not surprising. You know what happened. I'm not holding it against all of Wisconsin. For the record, I'm not, but everybody else is. This is why there is such a small margin for error on the program. If you misstep, if you make a big mistake, they're unrelenting. They're unforgiving. It makes them feel better about them. They're coming for you. Kyle, I would love to protect you, but it's much bigger than me. It's you and me against 8 million of them, Kyle. There's nothing I can do about it. You're on your own, bro.